All right, everybody, I'm here with Harry Gentry, owner of Reroy Chang, how he's most famously known on YouTube and Instagram. This is his 280Z, and this is his 240. We're gonna talk to him a little bit about his cars. Harry, can you tell me a little bit about the 280, where you got it from, how far it's come, how it was when you got it, what you're running, whatever you wanna let us know.
Yeah, well, we got this car back in 2017. Got it from a guy here in Dallas, actually, Jeff Guckenberg. And originally the car originally it was from Arizona, and then went down to Oklahoma where they built it. And that car went straight to Louisiana where they ran it at the pad. And you know, this car's been all over the place, been on 1320 video. And actually the person we actually got it before, who had it before Jeff, was actually Carl Scott, who was on Street Outlaws and owns the Honey Badger. So this used to actually be his car at one time. But actually we got this car and it was in pretty rough shape. It was pretty fast, but it was what you call a sloppy mechanics build. Like, this car was literally built on the sloppy mechanics page, and it was actually named on the sloppy mechanics page. But it's come a long way. It's still stock bottom end 5.3. It's got Texas speed, cam and valve springs and internals. Of course, it's got snake eater injectors. We run the best, only the best, tuned by Rich.
Yeah.
And the car's come a long way, actually. It's from when we had it, it was like 600 horsepower. Now, Rich tuning in the stock bottom ends at 1200 to the wheels. So I mean, it's coming. We still need a lot to do to it, but it's becoming real competitive. And like I said, this car's been in Oklahoma, it's been in New Orleans, been at the pad, it's been everywhere. So I mean, it has quite a bit of following. We're on YouTube, Instagram, and our YouTube is just taking off. So
Yeah.
I mean, we thought we'd bring it back here in your booth so we could, show it off and try and put a hurting on these guys. But we got some tough competitors out here. But I mean, we tried, we swung for the fences and it did good, but we'll come back and we're gonna come back stronger. So we'll see how it does.
Well, I mean, just from what we saw this weekend, a lot of progress made just throughout the weekend in the tune alone. Still no suspension changes and stuff. But so the car still has a ton of potential, both in the motor probably and in the chassis still. But I'll tell you, we saw it here at LS Fest last year in person, and it's a totally different looking car too. A lot of paintwork, but if you guys get the opportunity, check this thing out in person. You've done most of the fab work or all of the fab work?
All the fab work.
So Harry and his son have done all of the fab work, and it's intricate. It's beautiful. It's very well done. There's a crazy, and the paint. That's an addition over last year is the paint. But there's a crazy story about the fab. You did it in 3 weeks or something crazy like that, right?
You know what? The car was still the original floorboards, everything. It took us 6 months. We completely gutted the car from the toe boards back. We did a whole tube chassis, narrowed the rear end. It's got a Tin Soldier race car 4-link suspension in the rear. I mean, we knocked this whole car out in 6 months from beginning to end and out testing. So we tried to knock it out pretty quick. It's a totally different car than when it was 2 years ago. And I don't know, man. We're trying to keep up with the big boys, so.
Yeah. So last year when I saw you, it was on Twins, right?
Yeah, it was on.
Yeah, and if you check this out real quick, Ryan, I think it probably hasn't been credited, but everybody has seen the two-step with the nitrous spray, either into the big single or when it was set up on Twins. Everybody's seen it. I see it all over Instagram, YouTube, everything.
25 million views. So I mean, that thing, everybody loves that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's actually pretty cool. It works great. People give me so much crap about this because I have it here, and why don't you put it in the intake pipe and blah, blah. You know what? This works for me. All I need it for is to get on boost. 3 seconds, that sucker's on boost, and we're ready to rock.
All right, let's talk about the 240 a little bit. So this car, I think y'all didn't bring it last year, right? Or did you? No. I think the only time I've ever seen it, it was maroon. Did it used to be red, something like that? Now it's got paint, now it's got hood. Can you tell us a little bit about this one?
This one was actually this this car was back home from in El Paso. This car was actually really well known. It had a 2JZ in it, turbo 400 with a Q45 rear end, and it was super quick car. I mean, it was like 820s, 830s in the quarter. And the guy we got it from, I guess he just didn't have any more time for it, and he put an LS in it just to sell it. We ended up getting it, taking out the 4.8, putting a 6-liter in it, putting a Texas Speed cam, Snake Eater injectors, of course. And yeah, man, Rich tuned it, put it on the dyno, made 1,000 horsepower, right? First leg, 1,000 horsepower. So it's a really cool car. We're gonna try and do, this car's more small tire. This car we're trying to do like drag and drive type of thing, because this is actually a street car. It's got plates, it's got turn signals, brake lights, so does this one. But this fits the class of drag and drive, true street, whatever you wanna call it. It's on drag radio, so this
Still
one.
got a full interior?
Full interior. Yep, full interior. It's got 750 cage in it. Like I say, it's still stock IRS. Not stock, but it's got the IRS.
Yeah.
We haven't gone to a solid axle, but I mean, we'll rock it like that. If it breaks, then we'll do what we did to this one, narrow the rear end, slam it, and
Yeah.
we'll hurt some feelings.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, these things are awesome, man. I appreciate you always being a customer. I mean, Rich has always referred people my way. You guys together are killing it. This car is looking amazing. I hope you guys, I've invited you out to Bowling Green later this year. It's up to you. You don't have to decide right now, absolutely not. But I hope you guys make it out just because I want to see it in person more. So thanks a lot, bro.
We will be there for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, we got to, man. We got to represent Texas Speed, Snake Eater Performance, tuned by Rich over there. I mean, man, you guys we're trying to put everybody on the map. So hopefully we can do that there in Kentucky. So we'll see what happens, but
Love it.
for sure.
All right, cool.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it, brother.